A very good evening to you. Welcome to Sleep Articulate. We founded this little sanctuary some 15 years ago. And I've been here for 6 of those 15 years. It's a place that was found with nothing more than a desire to help and to provide a little bit of solace, some support to those individuals who, try as they might, just seem to struggle with falling asleep at night. And with this in mind, of course, as you will have already found out, our services are entirely free of charge. The idea behind this is that you simply sign up the next available slot, and you come along and you spend an evening and what is, in our own honesty, the most restorative night's sleep you'll ever experience. But more than that, perhaps take away experience and a power to allow you to sleep easier going forward. Okay? Now, before we go any further, I will actually be burning a very small disc of incense resin. You might have seen me marking the container before you came in. Now, this is Bakor Mara. And there are a wide variety of different kinds of incenses. This particular blend will give you a little smell. Even just taking off the disc. How delicious. How curious. These discs, as I said, are a resin, compressed resin. It's made up of musk, a little bit of amber, and of course the incense itself. And what we do, a cube of charcoal. Simple block of charcoal, and even the charcoal itself is infused with a very, very slight amount of musk, so there's no nasty smoke smell. But the cube is lit and left to smolder for about 2 minutes, and once the smoke clears, you're just left with a hot surface in which the resin is placed upon and will evaporate into smoke. And this smoke is entirely non-toxic. The smoke itself will not send you to sleep. It's simply about setting tone. Okay? Curious, it's placed into a little device that looks a little bit like this. We place the charcoal in the center, the resin on top, and it will just dissipate up in the most relaxing of ways. So please get yourself comfortable while I set up the incense. You'll find a lavender infused blanket to your right hand side. This has become a token piece of all our sleep clinics. These lavender blankets, they're heavy, they're very cozy, extraordinarily soft. And just wrapping it around you, you feel immediately this sense of relief. Okay? Good. I'll be working away here, okay? These are obviously quite concentrated. That is simply all one needs. Just a small disc. Even the tweezers are left with the most inviting of scents. Good. Now, just get this lit, and we'll come back and take it from there, okay? I'm just placing it on the floor, and this will allow the smoke to rise. But it's just off at the side. It won't be interfering with us. It won't irritate us in any way, okay? Good. Now, it's a beautiful smell. You already look very cozy, wrapped up in the blanket. We can start to smell that musk scent. And, of course, musk and amber have sleep properties on their own. But we don't just wrap you up in a nice blanket, give you some fancy smoke, and expect you to sleep. We are here to support you. We are here to guide you and to assist you. So from here, what we'll be doing, we'll start off with a very light neck massage. Okay, again, with just a little bit of lavender oil. Now the massage isn't meant to send you to sleep. If it does, fine. But it's allowing you to relax. Quite often, people say to us, just relax. If we could just relax on command, we wouldn't need to seek out professional help to begin with. Okay? So what we do is provide something physical that allows that door of anxiety to swing open, to allow you to walk through it. And on the other side of that door is de-stress and relaxation. Okay? Just a very small amount of lavender oil. Good. And once we have you massaged and suitably de-stressed, I'll give you a small pamphlet. And the pamphlet contains a list of questions. Now I'll be asking these questions verbally, but the reason we supply the pamphlet is because sometimes people like the reassurance of being able to repeat a question on their own terms. Meaning, if I was to ask you, how much sleep do you usually get in a night? And you're thinking, and you just look at the pamphlet, question 1, how much sleep do I get a night? And the combination of the verbal from myself and the physical text we found helps put the client at ease, but also enhances and gives us a more open-ended question. Alright? Now, I'd just like you to close your eyes and all I'm doing here is just working the thumb of each hand to either side of the vertebrae. We never massage on the spine or the actual neck bone itself. Just around it, there are many, many muscles that quite often store tension. You get home at the end of a day and your neck aches. Maybe you've been sat at your computer all night and your neck's just aches. It's not just the neck actually that's aching, it's the shoulders. You have a lot of tension. I'm just moving down to the shoulders here. You have a lot of tension here. But that's okay. There are many reasons why we are unable to sleep. And one of the main reasons is because we're wondering why we can't get to sleep. And there are many, many contributing factors as to why we're asking ourselves that question. Because it's more than just the obvious that you don't feel like you can get to sleep. Our mind is a complex but a beautiful thing. I need to step off to the side here a little bit. What leads us to that question is a combination of things. And it starts with storing up that tension, that anxiety, that fear. Know that you're not alone. You're in luxury. You have the most comfortable blanket that's thick but without being stifling. Your shoulders are being eased away, easing away of that you already look more relaxed. You look less tense. We might not be aware of it, but quite often we carry a coat of tension. Almost like we're on the precipice of being ready to be worried about something, or being ready to be stressed about something. We never really get to fully relax, to fully unfurl. We always carry this coat of what if around us. The day that coat comes off, we replace it with this blanket. Quick shoulder and neck rub. You can smell the musk and amber in the air, and this moment right here is tranquility for you. And you can come here whenever you like. Always revisit this moment. Good. Now, you don't need to hold this pamphlet. I'll install it to a little hook here. And you can see all the questions on both pages. Okay? So you don't need to hold anything. We're not adding any tension or any weight to your body. Good. Now, the reason we ask our questions is because we have a selection of very specialized oils. And depending on the answers to the questions, determines and contributes to how we make up our oils. And once we have the right mixture, the right concoction for you, a very small amount is placed onto each temple. And again, this isn't a narcotic. It's not a sleeping pill of any kind. It's just an oil that will help you to relax holistically, healthily. Okay? So there are no pressures with these questions. Just answer however you think you want to answer. And curiously, we're not using paper. We're using a parchment purely for the relaxing sound. Okay? Okie dokie. Now, if you remember, my first question was simply, how long do you usually sleep per night? Now, this isn't how long you're trying to. Maybe you're trying to sleep for 3-4 hours. Maybe you're trying to sleep for 10 minutes. But from the last thing you remember, the point in time, to when you wake up, how long is that period of time? And you can be as detailed or as brief with these answers as you want to be. Okay? There's no pressure. There's no stress. Just try to be honest and sincere, and your candor will be rewarded. Okay? Okay? Okay, good. And how about last night? In particular, how many hours did you sleep for? next question is an assessment of your own personal well-being. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not at all, 10 being everything, completely, utterly. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you think the amount of sleep you get contributes to how well you operate the next day? 1 being not at all. You can operate with 1 hour, 2 hours sleep as well as you can with 8 hours. 10 being you are a shell of yourself with 1 hour sleep. And this might seem like an obvious question, but you would be surprised. Different people need different amounts of sleep. What we say is that 7.5 hours is a very, very average and very generic figure that applies to the average person. But in between the average is the very high and the very low. Okay. Every body is different, and so is every mind. Okay, fine. Good. Okay. What was the last meal that you ate? And I mean a meal, not a Pop-Tart, not a snack. Something, not necessarily a sit-down meal, but something you would consider breakfast, lunch, or dinner, for example. Okay. Good. That's very helpful. Okie dokie. Now, our next question. If you were at the base of a hill, and at the top of the hill there was $200, pounds, euros, 200 of your currency, to an equal exchange rate. And you knew if you walked to the top of this hill, you would be able to claim the money for yourself. And you knew you would have your phone, Surface Pro, comfortable chair at the bottom of the hill if you just stayed where you were. And the hill was 15, 20-minute walk to get to the top. Would you pursue the money? Everything would still be at the bottom of the hill waiting for you. You just have to go up and down. Okay. Very good. Now a slightly easier one. What is your favorite color? Good. No, that's a good question. We have an algorithm that we've been working on for even longer than the 15 years we've been open. It analyzes the responses in line with some of the core ingredients and compounds of the oils. And there was a surprising correlation. And that's why our sleeping oils are especially effective. Again, they're only an aid. They aren't going to miraculously knock you out. But we found that between the smell and the absorption, your body just seems to unlock that door again and just drift off into a very, very relaxing and happy sleep. doesn't love happy sleep? Okay. This is my favorite question. Why do you think the sky is blue? Why do you think the sky is blue? It's a curious question, I know. It's not a question of academia. It's just, why do you think the sky is blue? It's a simple question. Okay. Justification is fine. Okay. Good. Which of these is your favorite fruit? An orange, a lemon, pineapple, coconut, or an apple? A green apple, specifically. It's a tough one. Don't think too hard. If you don't have an immediate response, I can leave it blank. Okay. Me too. Okay. And I can maybe draw a conclusion from this, from the hill question, but when did you last exercise? And when I say exercise, it can even be a simple walk to the store. But getting out of your bed doesn't constitute as exercise, unfortunately. Would be that it did. Okay. Good. Okay. Now, if you could visit any of the following planets safely, which would you choose? The moon? Big old cheese. Mars? Jupiter? Venus? Or Gliese? Okay. Thank you very much. We just have 2 more questions to go. I can see your eyes beginning to sleep already. What is your happiest memory in life? Very happiest memory, the best thing that has ever happened to you, or the best thing you've ever felt. Okay. It's interesting. Very interesting. Good. Okay. Final question. Which of the 4 seasons is your favorite? And as a small reminder, we have winter, spring, summer, and autumn or fall, the one before winter. find that people can sometimes romanticize about summer until they're actually in summer, and then they're wondering, why do I like this so much? Maybe I was just sick of the cold. Good. Okay. Fantastic. Now, the process only takes a couple of minutes. I'll hand this off to my colleague. Your answers will be entered into our system, and a very quick formula essentially run, and we're given a constitution of usually 3 or 4 compounds, sometimes only 1 or 2 actually, and we have a library of oils, and it's mixed up very quickly, and I'll just be applying a very small dot to each of your temples, okay? I'll be back just 1 second. Yeah. Thank you. Now, while we're waiting for the oil to be prepared, I'd like to very quickly just provide you with a very, very, very relaxing, moisturizing cream. Now this will be placed in the center of each palm, and it'll be painted on. Now our palm painting is a staple of our sleep clinics. I'll just take your hand here. Good. And it's a technique. Painting a nourishing cream into the palm, especially the center of the palm, along the lifeline and the heart line. We found yields very positive results. Good. Let's do a touch more for the other hand. Good. Just take your hand here. Good. Again, we're painting especially the deep grooves of the hand. It's a very soft bristle brush. A little bit ticklish perhaps, but relaxing nonetheless somehow. Good. Very good. Wonderful. And again, we store so much tension in our hands. They work all day doing something on our phones, holding pens, typing, preparing food, holding a cup even. We're always engaging our hands in some way. And they can be a pillar to relaxation. I'm just going to massage the cream in just a little bit, just to make sure that the hand is absorbing all of the goodness of the cream and balancing. Good. And it will come as a surprise, but the cream is actually scentless. Between the musk and scents, the lavender blanket, the lavender oil, we don't need to saturate the atmosphere of the room. Good. You are looking so relaxed and at peace, which is good. It's the final touch. We have you dreaming, sleeping. little magic contraption contains your very specific sleeping oil. Now, the contents, again, it's not a narcotic in any way. There's nothing illegal in here. But what we do, we spray the concoction, the elixir, as we like to call it, onto an Egyptian cotton pad, and the temples are just dabbed very so slightly. New cotton pad, 3 sprays, second temple, okay, and what you're going to feel isn't an immediate response. You're not suddenly going to feel drowsy. You're not going to suddenly be overcome with a need to sleep. What you will find is a very steady decline of your concerns, your brain pinging left to right from one question to another. It starts to have the volume turned down on it. I'm just going to hold this up to your temple. Good. Good. The second disc. Always 3 sprays. Good. 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 Now, just look at me for just a moment. How do you feel? You have the look of somebody who is incredibly relaxed. You're smiling. I can feel you smiling. You're cozy and warm. You're safe. You're feeling accomplished, confident, excited to greet the next day. And we'll always be here for you to remind you how amazing you actually are. Life is good. Life is an endless array of opportunities, full of taste, smells, flavors, and it's all there waiting for us. And even from the comfort of this cozy, warm, safe, and sleepy environment, we know that the world is right outside for us whenever we choose to engage with it. It's a great place to be because we control our surroundings here. You're feeling euphoric, sleepy, contented, contented, contented. Now, from the very bottom of our hearts, we'd like to thank you for joining us today. There are 1,000,001 places, other places you could